What's the mighty good word, party folk? It's your Maya High Priest. I'm up here on Mars's day. It's Tuesday, January 30th. Congratulations, we are almost through January. Capricorn, this is a Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising collective reading. Regardless of whether you have a distinguished Capricorn placement in your natal chart, this may still resonate with you. I highly recommend checking out the collective readings. The Leo full moon reading has been really resonating in a lot of the readings as of late. But yes, with that, I have the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess as the cards that I've been sort of tending to as far as your meditation. It hasn't been that intensive. I've pulled back a little bit from wandering too much, but I thought I love to show you guys the cards that I meditate on for your specific signs. So I do have the High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune from the Golden Dawn Tarot. I love this. And then I have the Wheel of Fortune card here as one of the main cards. But this one is from the Radiant Wild Tarot. That's what I mean to say is there's energy coming from both. It could be that you're realizing not that it's a new realization, but like you're actually seeing it. It's something that was felt where you have been already in the midst of kind of creating or realigning or refining or readjusting, like figuring out where you want to go. These are things that have been kind of brewing within you or around you since summer of 2022. You could have started something, so you're about to end. It's like a program, a schooling program, or maybe you're the teacher, or maybe you're like the supervisor, and this is what you're tending to, okay? But it also is a shift of perspective. So you're being asked by God's Spirit to shift perspective, because it's more so like, hey, now where you may have been used to running with a lot of motivation, it's now like your focus, where you direct your focus, that's naturally where you will how you will manifest. So it's now a lot of it has to do, especially right now, it has a lot to do with removing, honoring how fast the times move now and what that means for that ebb and flow of your abundance. Sometimes there's a little bit of a what appears to be a lack, and sometimes what appears to be abundance. And so honoring that will actually alleviate you and then push you. It's like cleansing and clearing and purifying to honor the natural flow, and to honor where you are at, regardless of whether you are at the start or the finish line, or the start or finish of a new project. It seems like most of you are at the end, and so you will come to finalize your production by the end of the summer, and then this New Year mark is really involved for you, because you're internally creating that space to develop something new. So it's like you're in the midst of ending something, completing something, and this is all project-based, work-based, and you're also in the midst of creating something new. And so it's moving your perspective from it's a shift of perspective somehow. We'll get into it, right? Thank you so much. Ooh, Capricorn, it's wonderful to have you here. I have been a little bit off my normal schedule and off my normal rushedness myself. Getting a lot more sleep these days, so I'm a little bit, I don't know why. You guys likely don't notice much of a difference in my attitude or my behavior, but it feels like I'm moving a lot slower, but I don't know. I have the Herbal Astrology Oracle. I'll pull one card, and then I have the Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle deck that I'll pull 3 cards from. Thank you so much. Mercury, Goddess Isis, Sun God Ra. We can have 1 card. Thank you to the Archangels, Angels, and Spirit Guides, Goddess Light, Ascended Masters. What is the message for the Capricorn? Ooh, Weaver. Okay. And then we have Offering, Tobacco, card number 24, ruled by Mars and Pluto. Currently, Mars is in Capricorn and Pluto is now in Aquarius. Mars is in your sign, Capricorn, okay? So it is exalted in your sign, which means if it's acting and it's justified, not rushing, not brash, not fighting and elbowing, it means you can get a lot completed, a lot finished, a lot moving. Then we have card number 20, Lavender Weaver. A Mercurial card, okay? So this gives me this new way of thinking. This gives me the Wheel of Fortune. This gives me you seeing this new ebb and flow where things used to be very long-standing and last for a long time. You maybe are feeling like can things last a long time? Can I survive this? Can I appreciate this time? And that's actually where the mind should flow. It's like, is there a time for you to honor this up and down where you're not used to so much sitting with that? It's like, can you sit with that uncertainty? Can you sit and acknowledge that you are in the midst of a lot of change where you're used to just kind of putting one thing down that's completed and then picking up the next? Right now, you're in that moment of time where it's not only suggested that you clean and clear your path, it's like, can you also enjoy yourself? Can you enjoy yourself not doing much right now? Or like, even though you may be doing a lot, it's just sort of like you're putting the period at the end of a lot of sentences, or you're like tying a bunch of bows up, wrapping up a bunch of loose ends. But can you appreciate what that means to you? What that means to a time of transition? Can you also be open to accepting help from the universe? Because there's like a gift from the universe where it's not so much like you giving your time. You've maybe become so used to giving your time. And so now, like, you're coming from that to actually receiving something. Like, can you honor? Okay, there are the 3 cards. Okay, I did shuffle this deck a few times. Here's Pluto again. Okay, it feels very different. It feels like even your mind is a little bit like, where am I to look now? Okay, so going from vinegar to resin to sap of the moon plant. Cool. Wow. Okay, so cleansing, clearing, cleansing. Okay, the end to something, the end to a lot, an end to a cycle, and then honoring. Okay, honoring what is lasting and what is true and where you can place your faith in, and then boom, coming to God, coming to honor that which maybe felt too far out for you to reach. Now you're seeing a new vision. You're experiencing a new sensation. I am going to just make sure I'm looking at these cards. The vinegar card does show up at times, but resin and sap of the moon do not show up for me often. So I just want to make sure that I'm reading these properly for you. Yes, so it's looking back, and you realize how much effort you were concerting and outputting, and now it's that time of like, can you, yes, again, honor the time of less, like honoring the time when you're supposed to receive. Like right now you're in receiving mode, and it may be like that you're receiving the end of one big culminative timeline, and then entering, like you're being just kind of ushered into this new arena. So yes, please hold on to that which has worked for you in a way where you don't have to push, right? What parts actually align with this new way of being for you, and where you don't push, where you don't exhaust yourself, where you don't start everything anew all at once and then go, where you are able to slowly accumulate. And this could just be for the time being. It doesn't mean that it's going to last, right? This isn't a lasting moment. It's just a new way to acknowledge, so that your mind can shift and clear, and then you can get back to, let's say, how you maybe remember and how you suppose that you used to do things. It will not obviously ever be like the same, but it will mean that you feel like familiar. It's just setting the tone for the new familiar, right? This is the divine feminine, yeah. So the high priestess, right? And asking you to sit back a little bit, asking you to honor. Sap of the moon plant is said to be linked to the pineal gland and can be increased by the practice of meditation. Sitting for a few moments in the evening is especially beneficial. There are many names for the sacred elixir: soma, nectar, aqua vitae, aqua nostra, and vina mardens, to name a few. Remember, dreams are the mother tongue of humanity, and it's the ancient waters of your memory. So you're remembering a new way. You're remembering a way of that is an old way, an ancient way is being. This is why it's good for you to sit back and relax a little bit, because there's an ancient memory that's giving you this new breath of fresh air. Thank you so much, Capricorn. It's wonderful to have you here. Yes, the readings have been really spiritual, so I hope that you can take away some bits of inspiration. So we have the Nine of Swords. Again, clearing the mind, right? And we have the Hierophant as your challenge. So this kind of fixed state that you've been in, this state of bringing order, the state of how you assess, how you possess, how you attain, how you work. All of that has to be put on a sort of back burner, but that's just an awful example. It's not necessarily a suggestion. The only reason why I'm saying that is because some space needs to be allotted in the mind so that you can give yourself those brief moments in those meditative states where you can then receive that signal. Okay, yeah, many choices, many contracts, any relationships are coming up. I have here the Lovers as the basis in origin. So there has been an energetic shift, and a lot of it is in the mind. Now, for you to honor it and to actually feel it, you have to clear the mind and clear that space so that you can then process and move on. So it may be that you are in the processing phase and you're like, what's going on? Why do I feel different? Or maybe it's like you've been pinged and you're like, what? Like, I'm thinking about something different. A lot of it is like honoring pleasure, honoring time that is pleasurable, or honoring times where you can feel a sense of pleasure and a sense of just being and a sense of just relief. I have here the King of Wands. So like, yeah, you've been the leader, you've been the one pushing, you've been the one pushing and pulling the chariot all along the way. Can we take a look at the Lovers card again? So a lot of Gemini present in your reading, Mars and Gemini, or Gemini in general, and Taurus, as well as Cancer and Leo. So definitely check out the full moon and Leo collective reading, and perhaps the Leo reading may resonate with you. I also have the Knight of Pentacles, which is more Leo, more so Virgo, and then I have Jupiter in Leo. Okay, sorry. Then I have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so Six of Wands to Seven of Wands. Okay, at the top of your consciousness is really like, what is going on? Like, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to see something new come through, but first it's earning time and energy back, and then honoring how much work you've already put in, sitting for like a hot minute. Okay, Mars in Leo and Jupiter in Leo. Okay, wow, there's a lot of expansion in the mind that's gonna help you to expand in the material world. But it is like there's some clarity and order needed. There's some like holistic care needed. There's some like clean out the cobwebs in the mind, right? That's what I get from the Weaver card. And then before you rush out, the Knight of Cups in reverse, Pisces and Aquarius, before you actually rush out, clear the mind, clear this old format, something you're used to doing in a certain way. It's moving away from that, the Three of Cups and the Chariot. Okay, an old way of creating, an old way of celebrating, an old way of being. It's not going to work for you. It's changing where your mind sits. Okay, again, Knight of Cups in reverse, Ten of Cups in reverse. So don't rush out to tend to what may seem like you're ready. You're not ready to jump to it yet. Six of Cups in reverse. Okay. Yeah, you're not ready. There's something that's wrapping up right now and you could very well be in the midst again, like I mentioned. You could be in the midst of wrapping something up and then starting something new, but it's like, can you give this time to process the wrap up? Because there's also that, there's the wrap up, then there's the time to process. Okay, so it's like, is your mind way ahead of you? Is your mind in the summer already? Um, so 9 of Swords, isn't that what we started with? So you don't want to, oh, I'm sorry, there's, here's the Strength card at the bottom of the deck, okay? So a lot of mental clarity that's going to give you that push. So I have the 9 of Swords and then the 9 of Wands here. I have the 9 of Swords, so 9, 9, 9. I also have 6, 7. I also have 6 of Cups, so 66, 9, 9, 9. Then I have the Hierophant, which is card number 5, 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 5, 6, 7. So there is like this ascension. There's Lovers cards, 2, 6. So 6, 6, and 6, and 9, 9, 9, coming to union with this new self. And before you rush out, rush into the world, rush into this new way, it's like there are so many battles you're fighting. There's so much what coulda, shoulda been, like, why did that work out? Why didn't this work out? Okay, we're gonna get clarity on that. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Spiritual, a lot of... Thank you so much. It's wonderful to have you here, Capricorn. I think I've said that many times. It's just a reminder for you to allot yourself some time in awe and wonder. Like, these cards are flying off. I have the Knight of Wands. Careful with what you're saying, right? Careful, because it's like you want to set the tone for this new. So it's like maybe you're upset that some things didn't quite work out, but you should still honor that you pulled through. It's still a victory of some sort. Maybe that's why you're not able to see it, because you're too stuck on what didn't work. And maybe it's like that you have to analyze and process. We have here the five of Arcana, the Hierophant once again. So we have the Hierophant coming out twice for you. So Taurus points to bringing order before you step out, making sure you declare what's valuable to you in this new way of being, okay? So look, leaving the old, change of perspective again. 5 of Swords in reverse. So don't let the old take up the new. Don't let the old take up the space in your mind, because it's like you've got to go. You're going towards the light. You've seen something. You're the high priestess in between the worlds. But the high priestess declares that they need clarity, right? Okay, yeah, 9 of Swords in reverse. To get to your 9 of Wands, to get to your battle and your victory, to get to the victory from your battle, and then to realize where you're going next, okay? You can't sit in that energy. You cannot sit in that energy. The 3 of Empress, the Empress cannot sit and wallow, okay? She must sit in new energy, in the vision. She cannot sit in the old. Can we get more clarity on the 9 of Swords? Why does the 9 of Swords keep appearing? The 9 of Swords. Okay, yeah, it's coming back to your attractive nature. I have here more Aries and Pisces. It's really being kind to yourself and kind to others, working well with others, working with God, working with your spirit guides. And then again, I have the 6 of Cups in reverse. Don't sit too much in the old. The old was not where you were flourishing. It's not where you were meant to be. It's not where your true leadership qualities were coming out. Now your true leadership qualities want to come into order. But it's like, have you made the decision to leave that old headspace and to leave the old self-judgment? It's a lot of self-judgment. And then you are asked to be kinder, to be fairer to yourself, so that you can then be kind and lead with fairness outside of you. But it's just a little bit of this jolt where you could have just become very tired and inundated with too much to do, too much to care for. You're like, I really need to take more time to determine what's good. But in that process of doing that, you became very like drained by the old, by looking at things that haven't actually been progressing or actually didn't grow for you. But remember, you went into the headspace so that you could move away from that headspace. You came into the meditative headspace to like clear out the cobwebs, to clear out this speech, to clear out this like language, to clear away a lot of this like lull and dullness, right? So we have card number 20. Weaver, lavandula officionales, weaver of potential new beginnings, intuitive intellect, contemplative phase, emotional fulfillment, walking in alignment. Reverse is unsettled spirit, unable to see possibility, lack mentality, untrusting, and overly critical. Okay, so no overly critical. Don't overly criticize yourself, okay? Don't not trust yourself. Double negatives. How can we convince you to leave that not having faith in your new way, in your new path, on your new path? Lavender is much like the medicine and spider, a master communicator that organizes, refines, and systematizes many elements in life. Lavender's medicine provides us the power of discipline and focused energy, key elements to enable aligned manifestation. Spider is here today to remind you that when you're not communicating from a higher alignment, we quickly become entangled, overly critical, and even block the flow of creativity and healing communication. Connect to the energy of the spiral to journey deep into your shadows and allow this self-organizing system to facilitate higher alignment to your foundation when needed. Use the gifts of communication such as music, poetry, art, and dance to nurture creativity as you weave your life. So like the Empress, right? Take that time out to weave and dance, because you are on your way to Empress. You are on the way to the Empress, and that's what the Wheel of Fortune tells me, that you've been manifesting. So now the Wheel of Fortune turns for you in this space and time to grant you this space, or in the space and time to grant you the will to be in alignment with clear communication, loving communication, more so your internal self-talk, how you view and how you have faith in yourself. That needs to come up, because that will then push you right into that. I actually want to have a little bit of fun in this meanwhile, while I align with this new self and this new way of being and this new sensation. You're well underway, Capricorn. You got this, okay? Take a little time to dance, right? Take a little time to feel just free, just a little bit of free time, okay? You got it. I send you all the love, all the white, protected white light. I honor your path regardless, and I will be back with more messages very soon. Thank you all so much.